Coming up, how culinary art students are working to remember one of their former student chefs.
And how man's best friend does more for its owner than just roll over.
Plus, we take a look at the new men's basketball coach and how he is preparing for the basketball season. I'm Klemme.
And I'm Itedra Clopton. Thank you for joining us as we bring you the updates on what's happening around campus.
From the campus of Kirkwood Community College, this is KSP News with Klemme and Itedra Clopton. Katy Charis with sports. You're watching Kirkwood Student Productions.
Students had to say goodbye to a dear friend, but will be honoring him through a culinary showcase taking place Friday, November 15th.
Randy Heinel was a friend that unfortunately couldn't stay in the lives of culinary arts students for very long.
He was very inspiring. That was definitely a good work for him.
The big thing that stood out, not only was he a great student, but the enthusiasm to which he approached everything. So come to find out, he had other passions, and he attacked them all 100% enthusiasm. He was a firefighter and attacked that with 100% enthusiasm. He was actually an auto mechanic and also a chef. So that was what really stood out, was his enthusiasm and passion.
Students will pay tribute to Randy by presenting some of his favorite dishes right here in front of an audience.
I think what the students are really trying to do is incorporate foods that he would have really appreciated, barbecue, smoking, and grilling, and that type of thing.
The event, which is being called Something for Randy, will be held at 6 p.m. in the Culinary Arts Auditorium. Each student in the culinary showcase will demonstrate how to make each dish for the audience as students prepare the food in the back for the attendees. The hope is to honor Randy in the best way possible.
One day, I was having a bad time. One of my other friends had actually passed, and I was crying, and Randy came up to me, and he gave me a big hug, and just told me to keep my head up, and that I'll have a better day tomorrow.
Chris Ackman, KSP News.
Most dogs learn to sit, stay, and roll over, but few dogs ever learn how to open a door or grab a cell phone for a person in need. We caught up with a service dog named Karma, who is learning to assist those with disabilities.
They say a dog is a man's best friend, and that's especially true when it comes to service dogs, such as Karma.
Karma is about 18 months old. She is, she looks like she's all yellow lab, but she's actually yellow lab and golden retriever cross.
Karma has been training with Randy Ackman since she was 8 weeks old and has been training to become a service dog for people with special needs.
We're puppy raisers with an organization called Canine Companions for Independence. And what they do is they raise dogs and for people who need service dogs. The big thing that we are trying to accomplish is so that they have good manners. They're a good citizen. So when they're out in public, they're not jumping, they're behaving.
After her training at Kirkwood, Karma will go on to Dublin, Ohio to take advanced classes.
And that's where people who work for CCI, who are professional trainers, start doing the involved stuff like being able to open doors, being able to turn off light switches. One of our dogs that graduated, our second dog, she can pick up a piece of paper off the floor. So they do all that training. We're basically just sit, stay, down, trying to get them to behave and act respectable or obedient in public. So.
Famous chef and host of her own TV show, Giada De Laurentiis, will be coming to Kirkwood on November 11th for a special event to benefit the Iowa Women's Leadership Conference. Giada will sample dishes prepared by the Kirkwood College culinary arts students, inspired by her latest book, Giada's Feel Good Food.
On Friday, November 1st, the Kirkwood Floraculture Showcase was held from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Horticulture building. This year's theme was Illuminate the Season. The students in the floral program created fall and winter arrangements. The students also made wreaths for a silent auction, with all the proceeds going to the floral program. One of the highlights of the showcase was a large display window that was half decorated for fall and half decorated for winter.
Coming up on KSP News, we'll give you an update on the volleyball postseason.
Plus, a theater workshop teaches students just how to take a punch. Stay tuned.
mascot?
Not regular TV, it's animation.
Anime is the gathering of people to watch cartoons. If you love a community that won't judge you,
Just come on down and walk right in.
And make them an offer they can't refuse.
Inside of many, there is a need to help and heal. At Kirkwood Community College, it only takes 2 years to earn one of the many degrees offered for veterinary technicians. With the hands-on experience that Kirkwood vet techs receive, they learn how to help put a smile on a proud owner's face. And maybe even your dog as well. Don't believe me? Well, I think you just saw your answer.
Welcome back.
We're turning to Katy Charis now with sports. Katy?
Thanks, Itedra. A former Eagle basketball player, Bryan Peterson, has returned to the court, but this time as head basketball coach.
Bryan Peterson was named head coach of the Eagle men's basketball team just a few short months ago. We sat down with him to talk about how he feels the transition has gone.
I really think that we've done a lot of good things so far since I've taken over in the last few months. This coaching staff is starting to come together a lot more. We have 11 new players. There's been a learning curve for myself, but I'd say overall it's gone pretty well, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
The first-time head coach feels the players have really bought into his style of play.
For the most part, I think they bought in pretty well. I think offensively, they've really done a nice job of buying into what I want, what kind of shots I want, what kind of offense, and the things that we want to get out of it. Defensively, it's been a little bit more of a transition, but I think that happens at, any team in our level at junior college when you have so many new players like we have. Defensively is always the biggest adjustment for a lot of our new guys. So that's been more of a day-to-day process, but for the most part, I think our guys have really bought into what we're trying to do.
He also spoke about what the fans can expect to see out on the court.
Basically, be prepared to see a team that's going to play hard, compete every time they're on the floor. That's something I really have been stressing with our team basically since they've stepped on campus. Offensively, I want to run, we want to get out, we want to make a lot of shots, we want to take good shots. We're going to run some good offense, but we want to get up and down on the floor and kind of play at a quicker pace. But defensively, we're mostly going to be a half-court man-to-man team.
Peterson wants to continue the winning way here at Kirkwood.
The bar has been set. Expectation is to compete for a league title, win the regional, and then go to the national tournament and try to make some noise out there. So our expectations are very high. It's a long process, and we understand that it's very hard. It's not easy to get those expectations, but that's what they're at for this team this year.
The team has 4 more home games this month, starting with a game November 12th at 7 o'clock against Greenfield University. Marcus Shoup, KSP Sports.
Kirkwood's volleyball team came away from their regular season with a record of 31-7. They advanced in the first round of their postseason with a win over Marshalltown Community College. KSP's sports producer Marcus Shoup tells us more.
Jo Williams has led her team to another playoff berth. We spoke with her about how she keeps her team focused on the task at hand.
I think any team at the end of the season that's had the success that we've had thus far this is what it's all about is regional time and the opportunity to qualify and make it to the national tournament. So I think the energy is there, and I think they're keeping their heads pretty level and just getting themselves ready one match at a time.
Having that one game at a time attitude has really helped the team block out all the distractions that come with this time of year.
I think some distractions that we get are just, finals coming up and school's getting a little stressful, but we try to help each other work through it, and as soon as we hit the court, it all just kind of goes away.
The Eagles have a powerful offense, and it helps when everyone is contributing equally each game.
We've had great balance attacks. I think Amber has done an outstanding job as a setter, distributing the ball. Each of them have had quality matches.
The team is a good mix of freshmen and sophomores, and Williams feels everyone has stepped into their roles very nicely.
We have a good mix of freshmen and sophomores. We've got good leadership coming from our sophomores, and we've had some freshmen that have come in and actually accepted some roles in leadership. They've come in and they've provided points and they're kind of go-to in situations, and they've handled it really well.
The playoffs end November 23rd with a championship game in Toledo, Ohio. Marcus Shoup, KSP Sports.
Women's basketball started the regular season with wins against Owens Community College and Lewis and Clark Community College. Danielle Woolfolk has led the Eagle offense, scoring 11 points per game, while Hannah Hayes has stepped up on defense, averaging 7 rebounds and 3.5 blocks. Kirkwood has 3 upcoming home games starting on the 15th, with a 7:30 game against Parkland College. That's it for sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Katy. Coming up, we'll see what's brewing in Lynn Hall.
Also, we'll take a look at what creatures came out to the Halloween Bash. Stay tuned.
Student Life is in charge of 80 clubs and organizations and is also in charge of the activities that go on around campus. Student Life is half activity-based and half club-based. Student Life is the event planner and the banker for all the clubs that they work with. So anything the clubs want to do, Student Life will aid them in getting it organized. For more information, stop in at 230 Iowa Hall or online at www.kirkwood.edu/clubs.
Our media partner, the Communique, has completed another edition for this newsstands.
Let's go now to Trevor Greenfield with the latest stories that you can find in the current issue of the Communique. Trevor?
Thanks. Angel tags are once again coming to campus this holiday season. Learn more about how you can give back to children in need through the Angel Tag program. Winter weather is right around the corner. Kirkwood President Mick Starcevich talks about the college's snow day policy. The Halloween Bash was well attended again this year. See additional photos and read student reactions from the event. Back to you, Drake and Itedra.
Thanks, Trevor. Instead of running all the way to Iowa Hall between classes for a snack, students can now enjoy a latte, a pastry, or even a sandwich in the lobby of Lynn Hall.
Walking through Lynn Hall, you have probably noticed the new addition to the lobby, a coffee shop. We sat down with Melanie Ewalt, the Director of Food and Beverage, to discuss the reason behind the addition.
Basically, it's to provide students that are down here in Lynn Hall for most of their classes the opportunity to get, fresh foods, coffee, drinks, things like that. It was important that we have a little area down here to give them something when they have breaks from class and for lunch.
We also spoke to General Manager of the Café, Kyle Davis, to see how he feels the new facility will be received.
I expect it to be well utilized, not just by the current students who are in Lynn Hall, but anybody who's nearby, where getting over to Lynn Hall would be easier for them than it would be to come to the cafe.
The Lynn Hall Cafe may not have everything the cafe has, but it does have plenty of options for customers to choose.
We plan to have a full-service coffee shop, so everything from a drip brewed cup of coffee to a vanilla latte.
We'll have coffee drinks, so we serve the roastery coffee. They're out of Kansas City. We'll have smoothies. We'll have 2 fresh soups every day, sandwiches and salads, and then, just a variety of bottled drinks.
I mean, the main difference is it's all going to be served with the same smile that you get here. But the only difference is the only hot food available would be the soup.
Both Ewalt and Davis feel the addition will benefit everyone involved.
I think it was more an open feel, a place for students to gather and, have a snack, have a coffee drink, and do some studying, and so it's more of a relaxed feel.
No, we're just excited to spread the cafe around campus. We've had great success and great response from the students and faculty so far.
The Lynn Hall Cafe is open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 6 and Fridays 7:30 to 2 p.m. Marcus Shoup, KSP News.
November 11th through the 15th is the International Food Week located in Cedar Hall. The cafe will present different foods from around the world. The menu includes foods from the Middle East, Latin America, Asia, Germany, and India. Students who attend each day will be able to enjoy a new dish from a different country.
Students preparing to audition for Kirkwood Community College's production of Romeo and Juliet have to know how to take a punch. Jason Tipsword, a certified stage combat instructor from the Society of American Fight Directors, came to Kirkwood to teach students how to punch, push, and throw each other in a safe way. The theater workshop entitled Stage Combat showed students the basic techniques to portray realistic combat without actually hurting anyone. These techniques will be applied for the upcoming auditions and production for Romeo and Juliet.
The Halloween Bash, Kirkwood's Halloween-themed dance, was held on October 30th in Iowa Hall. The event was arranged and hosted by Student Life and the Student Leadership Council. Around 250 students attended the dance and dressed up in their favorite Halloween costumes. Those who wore costumes were eligible for a costume contest, with the winners receiving gift cards for the cafe.
That's it for this edition of KSP News.
From all of us at Kirkwood Student Productions, we thank you for watching.